I was in a museum in Sacramento, California, a couple days ago, and they had an exhibit about catalogs. You remember the Sears catalog and Montgomery Ward catalog? Well, before those came along, shopping was a whole lot different. Small town merchants, main streets is where people got their stuff, the local hardware store. Well, then here comes these catalogs. And here's a little tidbit that I printed out that I thought was really interesting. It seems that it was in 1872 that Montgomery Ward's put out a one-page flyer about its products, and that grew to a 600-page catalog by 1895. Well, shortly after Montgomery Ward started, Sears and Roebuck Company formed. That was in 1886, and those two catalogs became competitors. And they began to drive local Main Street merchants out of business, quite obviously. J.C. Penney's came along later and did more damage. But the catalogs were a huge threat to local merchants. And I'll read to you directly from what it says here. It says, because the mail order houses sold extensive lines of cut-rate hardware, the hardware merchants were soon joined with others to battle the two companies they dubbed Monkey Ward's and Sears and Sawbuck. Feeling undersold and fearing a loss of customers, local shopkeepers tried hard to discourage mail order buying. And here's what's really interesting. Public burnings of catalogs were staged with cash and prizes given for each book thrown into the flames. Children were bribed with free admission to just invented moving picture shows for each catalog they turned in. Poetry contests awarded authors for rhymes uncomplimentary to wish books meaning catalogs. A few zealous preachers even sermoned against the ungodly and irreligious catalogs, but they were probably more angered by the open display of Victorian undergarments than by any threat to their local dealer in nuts and bolts hardware stores. Anyway, it's pretty interesting today with Amazon and merchants falling left and right because of that. But when you go back to the hardware, to the old days, the main days of Main Streets and hardware stores and local clothing stores, and see what the catalog did to them, I don't think it was a whole lot different.